Well, hello everybody, welcome to the 10 Cow Ranch. So, it's nighttime as you can see, and I got the baler hooked on. We're gonna go bale some hay, hopefully. I checked it a few minutes, or a couple hours ago, and it seemed plenty dry. I bought a moisture tester last year, and I've kind of learned to live by that. I mean, I've baled hay too dry, too wet, everywhere in between. And so, with this moisture tester, it feels awful dry to me just by picking it up in the windrow. So I'm gonna go start baling, do some testing on it. So interesting thing, hopefully you guys will watch my fix and fence video. So it's the same day. It's a Thursday. I'm not sure what day it is. I think it's the 19th of June, but don't want to sound like I'm whining here, but I want to just tell you about what's a normal day for me this time of year. I woke up at 4:30 this morning, went to work for corporate America, come home after work, picked up my horse trailer, saddled my horse, went to the mountain, kind of worked around some cows, hauled a few cows up there, and fixed the fence. Got home about 9 o'clock, went and checked the hay, seemed dry, grabbed some drinks, grabbed some jerky, and jumped on the tractor. I remembered I needed to put a little bit of work on this. I need to replace a limit switch for the net wrap, so I hurried and did that, and I think I'm ready to go. So I'll bring you guys along. If things go perfect and the hay is right, I'll probably bale all night. So I'll probably be awake for 25 to 30 hours today. And I usually do this 3 times a year, baling hay. So I can get by skipping one night's sleep. I can't get by 2 with 2. About noon tomorrow, I will crash and burn. So anyway, hopefully we can bale lots of hay tonight. Very interesting thing, in the deserts of eastern Utah, in the fall, I'm going to say September, October, we get flash floods. And we only get, I think average in Carbon County, Utah is 13 inches of rain. Sometimes we'll get 6 of that in one storm. Very weird. Right now, they are predicting flash floods for tomorrow starting at noon. So I hope I can get the whole doggone farm baled and a lot of rain. So anyway, I'll bring you guys along. We got lots of bales to make, hopefully. Here we go. Alright guys, well, I've baled a few bales. I think I've got about 15 bales or so. I checked the moisture on the very first one, and on my moisture probe, 8% is essentially 0. That's as low as it goes. And it was reading about 2 or 3 probes was 8, and I think I had a 9 and a 11. So it's pretty doggone dry. And so my goal is 18%. And this hay, so I didn't worry about checking too many bales. And so like I said, I baled I can't. Uh-oh, now I got an alarm on the monitor. I'll let you go. Alright guys, well, I'm just about finished with what I call the hedgerows. Hopefully you guys seen my video on cutting the hay and kind of explain how I go around the outside of the field for four rounds before I go back and forth. And so I've made 35 bales on just the hedgerows. I'll tell you how things have changed. When I first started farming this field, I remember one time I baled 40 bales on the whole field. And this is not great hay. I planted it, it's only been in about 2 years, but when I planted it, the hay just did not do very well. It was, I don't even know why for sure, but I planted a little bit late, and in our country, the ground will crust, and those little tiny alfalfa plants don't come through very well, and I think that's what happened. And this field's got a lot of grass in it, got a little bit of weeds, not too bad of weeds, but the grass where the alfalfa didn't do well kind of took over. And so I don't know, I'm going to be baling a lot of bales. I found a new hay buyer just a few weeks ago, and he said he needs more hay. I sold him 4 semi-loads, and he said he's going to need quite a bit more, so I'll bet he'll end up taking the first crop. So, and this hay is just fine for cows. I mean, really, I'd feed this hay to horses. A little bit of grass for horses is a good thing. It's pretty amazing to me that volatility of agriculture. So last year, which would have been, I guess, year before last, because my 2024 or my 2023 hay crop, I just barely sold in 2024. So it would have been my 2022 hay crop. I was selling for $295 a ton, and the market right now is about $100 a ton. It's crazy that it can fluctuate that much, but here in the desert, it certainly does. Price of fertilizer fluctuates a little bit too. Usually just goes up. I know when I first started farming, it was about $400 a ton, and the fertilizer I bought this year was over $1,000. So just part of the game, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, we're gonna keep baling. I'm gonna go out and do some more moisture testing, and I'll take you guys with me when I go out and test some. I know the stuff I'm baling right now is pretty dang dry, so I'm not too worried about it. But when I get into the heavier windrows, I'm gonna do a little bit more testing just to make sure I don't have any, heavy moisture areas. So I better let you go. Alright guys, well, I'm just about done with, what I call the hedgerows. Hopefully you guys seen my hay cutting video, and I've already made 35 bales. Alright, so I had to get off the tractor to go move the wheel line, so I thought I'd test one of these bales out, or this last bale that I made. So if you guys can see right there, that shows 8%, and that's as low as it gets. That's essentially zero to me. So 11%, 10, 14, 20 dry, that's 8.6. So it's plenty dry, a little on the dry side, but it is so hard for me to get this thing just perfect. My magic number, I think I mentioned earlier in the video, is 18. It's so hard, it's either like this 10 or 11 or 25. So anyway, we're gonna keep baling. So it's about 1 o'clock in the morning right now, and I don't know if you guys can see, that is a beautiful full moon. To have a little bit of cloud cover, my word, it is such a beautiful night. The wind's died down finally a little bit. I don't know what the temperature is, but man, it is just a beautiful night. I'm walking around here without even a flashlight to go move the wheel line, but yeah, you guys can see that in the background. Beautiful, beautiful moon. It's kind of funny because some of the people in my household are spooks. They think I'm absolutely crazy. Be out here in the middle of the night, walking around the hayfield baling hay. You guys have watched the channel at all. You've seen that we live right across the highway from the railroad tracks. My wife watches all these crime drama shows that all these mass murdered people ride the train, so I don't know. I guess when it's my time, but yeah, my wife, my daughter-in-law, my daughters, they all think I'm completely nuts. But I've done it enough, it's just part of the gig. So anyway, we'll keep going. Shut my headlight off. I think there's plenty of light here, but I was going to mention earlier in the video that so right now I think I'm about maybe 20% done with this field, or 25% maybe. I don't know, maybe 30%. It's really hard to say, but I've already baled 60 bales. So let's say I'm 30% done with the field. That's going to give me 180 bales on 40 acres. I don't know if I've ever had that much, but I put more fertilizer this year on than I ever have. So maybe the fertilizer's going to pay off. It's hard to say, but I can't remember if I mentioned this, in the beginning of the video, but we've got a flash flood warning for this area tomorrow. So I am really interested in getting as much hay baled as I can. I've got 50 acres here total, is my whole farming operation. And if I have a good night, I can get it all done. I've got this other field that's quite a bit heavier than this one, I thought. We'll see how it's dried. I haven't even checked it, but like if you guys can look there where the moon is and kind of over there, it's a little darker. Starting to see some lightning over there. So I hope we don't get that. I mean, they on the weather app on my phone, whatever, said noon tomorrow. Now it's today because it's about 1 o'clock in the morning. So I hope it gives me that much time. I have everything baled and then let it rain at that point. So, alrighty. Alright, well, it's about 2 o'clock in the morning right now, and I just made my 100th bale. Had a couple little issues. I've had a couple twice alarms of the net wrap not cutting. When I go back there, and there is kind of just a big wad of it underneath. Clean it out and cut it, and it goes right back to baling. So I'm probably 60% done with this field. So I don't know, maybe it's so hard to tell. I can't tell where even when I'm out in the dark here. So 50 or 60% done maybe. I don't know. Baling lots of bales though. I'm making a bale every 2 or 3 minutes. So it's going pretty good. Cross my fingers, the baler keeps running good, but these net wrap bales, how well you can see them, they are really nice bales. I like the net wrap a ton. They seem to shed the weather a little bit better, but they're fast. You know, the twine on this takes probably a minute or so alone to put on, where this net wrap takes a few seconds. So anyway, we'll keep going. Hopefully we'll get her finished up tonight. Been hearing that a lot. That's my full bell alarm. So, well, it's about 5:30 in the morning. It's been a pretty long night. I've about got this 40-acre piece done. I probably got another 1 or 2 acres here left to do, and then I got another 10 acres left to do. So sun's gonna be coming up pretty quick, so it'd be nice to have it just knocked out. So I got pretty tired. I had to stop and take a break for a minute, but gonna try to, hopefully when the sun comes up, it'll give me a little boost of energy, I guess. So one more wheel line to move out of the road, and we'll be done moving wheel lines on this piece. So. All right, I'm gonna call it a day. Got the big 40-acre piece done. This smaller field, it's quite a bit heavier hay, and it was cut last. So according to the moisture tester, it's still just a little bit too wet. It's in the 25 to 30% range. Ideal is 18. So I'm gonna go in the house and go to bed for a while and call it a day. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please subscribe.